We want to be on the cutting edge, but not the bleeding edge. Where can I push the limits to, and where do we have the team behind me that's not going to allow that to falter?
When a family-run business is passed down to the next generation, the new owner doesn't just take on the business and continue. The new owner takes on the business and truly makes it their own. Hey everybody, it's Jeff Kraft on a new episode of In True View for season number 4. Artistic Dental Lab has been in business for over 40 years. So when Dan took on the business from his father, he had the weight of his entire family's legacy on his shoulders. But that didn't scare him. In fact, he wanted a whole lot more. So from what I understand, they've been in this location for a little over 10 years, and it's a beautiful location, not too far from Chicago here. And I know Dan's office is around here somewhere. Dan?
Hey, good to see you.
Nice to meet you.
Absolutely.
Nice to meet you.
Welcome to Artistic.
Now, I know there's quite a few people that work here. I passed by a couple of offices. How many in total?
So Artistic is 65 total employees. As you go through here, you're going to see two main areas, the CAD/CAM area and the removables area.
Got it. I'd love to check all that out as well. There's a lot happening over there, but I want to go back to how this all started with you. Took over the company from your dad and taking over something like this. It's a legacy you're taking on. There's a lot on your shoulders. Is there a place we can chat?
Yeah, let's go to my office.
Perfect. What was it like growing up with your dad owning a company, your mom as a hygienist, you just seeing it all unfold, and now obviously you're an owner, but that's not what you wanted to do initially, is be in this space. But talk to me about how you grew up.
It's true. I grew up dental, all things dental. I remembered my parents going to the meetings happening in Chicago and bringing back bags full of just Crest products and different things that I thought were just the coolest thing in the world. As I went through high school and started following my own interests, honestly, the dental lab was the last place I wanted to be. I knew it was something that I could do and I could make a good living doing it, so I tried it out, and about 2-3 years into the industry, I'm like, maybe not really what I thought it would be. And right about that same time, we invested in one of our first 3-shape systems. You could do single unit copings. That's it. It kind of is what hooked me into the industry again. I saw where this could go, and I saw that this was a lot of what I did when I was younger on the computers, designing things and graphic arts, and I rolled with it. That was 20-something years ago now, and here I am, vice president, running the operations day to day. Did you have the belief that you can run a company as well based off of just watching your dad? My dad was a huge asset for me learning how to become a leader. The one thing that I've always kept in mind when I'm making decisions is that my decisions echo in big waves. I make a small decision that turns out poorly, and it can affect the livelihood of somebody else here as an unintentional consequence. We lose a customer or lose business and I have to lay somebody off. These are life-changing consequences of my decisions, and it's a heavy lift sometimes. And at the end of the day, I'm probably still gonna be here, but I have to live with the fact that my decisions didn't work out that way. Is there a philosophy that you carry into this new age of the company, and where did that come from? My main philosophy is that Artistic is a family-owned company. I know everyone's name here, I know most of their kids' names, I know the main parts of their lives because I want to treat them as family as well. One of my habits of walking around and greeting them in their native language, it kind of just started as a self-interest to learn how to speak other languages. And I slowly noticed that it just made people feel more at home. I want them to be able to approach me if there's an issue, right? I mean, if there's something going on, good or bad, I want them to be able to communicate with that to me, because that's important for my culture. That's important for the whole culture of Artistic, is that we are one unity and one group, right? One family. I have a really good staff. I have a very high ceiling staff. My job now is to make sure that I create the opportunity for them to stay within Artistic and they don't outgrow me before I can get the company growing along with them.
Your goal for growth strategy, what is that currently at?
We want to be on the cutting edge, but not the bleeding edge. You want to be out there, you want to be advanced, but you also don't want to take something to market that's going to give you a bad reputation. And that's really where I've been focused on lately, is where can I push the limits to, and where do we have the team behind me that's not going to allow that to falter. I have a lot of really great employees behind me and managers that they know that they can pick these projects up and they can run with them. I can't be the one running this. I can't be the one doing all the heavy lifting on all the systems because I'm only one person. So getting that staff there and pushing that envelope there, especially in the digital realm, is really our main focus right now.
It can get mundane.
Yes.
What keeps you in this space, and what are the biggest challenges to not have it mundane? What are your favorite parts of coming into the office and managing the team that you have?
If I feel like something is getting stale, it's probably because I've been focused on it for too long and I need a break to kind of refocus on something else and then come back to it with a fresh lens. And I'll notice that when I can do that, I will make more progress in a couple days than I had in the previous week, because I came back with a renewed sense of focus and a little bit different insight into what's going on, or something that I did in another part of the lab triggered a thought about another process I was working on, and we were able to kind of get over that hump.
You see a business as a marathon, not a sprint. What type of analogies can you see? What type of training do you have for your mind, not just your body, to run a company like this? What are the similarities?
Running a business is a lot like running a marathon. You don't make progress in business or in running unless you show up every day and you have a focus on what that day is going to bring and what your goals are for that day. And you won't accomplish them all the time, but the goal is to show up and keep working at it, because over time you will see that progress. You hit that sales goal or you hit that time you were looking for. To me, it's just a very synonymous thing.
Would you have your kids, would you love to see your kids as an entrepreneur starting their own company, maybe taking over, artistic, or going into something else, or working for somebody that they're just really passionate about without having to have the burdens of being a business owner?
As a parent, every parent wants to say, I want my kids to do what makes them happy. And that at the end of the day, that is true, right? Running a company and being the leader of an organization is not for everybody. I knew from a young age and from my first job that I wanted to be in a position of leadership, not because it was better paying or anything along those lines. It's because that's what I was interested in doing. With my kids, if they want to take over artistic, then that's their choice, and they come in and they show me that they got what it takes, and they absolutely can, and I'm going to be there coaching them and mentoring them the same way that my father did to me. And I'm hopeful that one day I will get the opportunity to work with one of my girls, but if they choose it, I'm not going to be that disappointed either, because I know they're doing what they want to do. So this is going to get stolen. Thank you.
Thank you.
I've been working for Artistic Dental Laboratories it's going on 26 years. My relationship with Dan is great. I've known him since he was quite a young guy. Dan's a really smart guy, he's a bright guy, and so he grasps things, learns quickly, and he's retentive. And he's a lot like his dad. He's tenacious, and he's a great guy. I like to think I helped him learn a lot of things over the years, and he's also helped me learn a lot of things as well. And so together, it's a real pleasure working with Danny Ulaszek.
My relationships with my employees, especially the long-term ones, are good. I mean, Paul I look towards as like an uncle. I trust him with my kids. I would trust him with my company and anything in between. The trust and the relationship I have with my employees are just as good as the trust and relationship I have with my family. Don't be afraid to put your fingerprint on it. Just because the company was successful up until your leadership doesn't mean that your leadership and your insight into that company can't make it even better. This world's always going to change, and if you're not changing with it, you're falling behind. Dear Danny, thank you for all of the kindness and support you show our company, Paul McGrath. Dan, thank you for your support and encouragement through this process. Scarlett, We're very close. Me and my staff are pretty close. They know where I'm going, they know where we're going, and I like what I do, I love what I do, and I love the people that I work with, and I want them to know that.